Welcome in. Hi Raven, hi Mango. Hi, hi. How you doing? Happy Monday. Hope it's going good. Dude, once again it feels like it's been like a year since we streamed anything. But it has. It's I don't know. Definitely not even a week, I don't think. But it still feels like a long time. You know, I was gonna try and do like a gorilla thing last night because I didn't have time to schedule something for Sunday, but yeah, I ended up not being awake, alive enough to do that. Oh hi! Oh hi! This weekend I had my bridal shower, so that took a lot out of me, bro. I don't like being perceived, and when they put me in the middle of a room full of people I barely know, and they're all giving me gifts just because, I feel so awful. It's like, oh my god. I couldn't. Like, it was just so much. So, like, yeah, I just kind of rested the whole weekend after that. I won't lie. Other than that, today, I started working on another Pokemon binder. Yeah. I finally got one because it's like been one of my like holy grail binders. I really wanted the Volt X one, but like they're out of stock like always. So I found like another brand that would had the same kind of thing. So basically it's like it's a binder, right? Oh, check my mic. Ah, fuck. Son of a bitch. Changed my mind. It is the first time I'm streaming. JK. How are we doing now? Better? Is this better? Good? Okay. What was this in? Oh yeah. So it's like this, Voltex does it the most I see. Better? Okay, good. It's like where you, because normally on a binder, right, it's like the cover is whatever color and the pages are black, right? But what Voltex does is like they have like their all pink or like all white editions where it's like if the cover is pink, the pages are pink. And I was trying so hard to get the white one. The white one with the white pages because I think it looks so slick. It looks so clean. Constantly they're out of stock. So today while we were out and about, we went into a game store Cam kind of wanted to look at, and they had like a different brand of binder that does the same thing, and so I got it. I finally got my all white binder. It's just a different brand, and it's a little, I mean, it's a 12 pocket instead of a 9 pocket, but like, I'm not super mad at it. I just, because I hadn't started planning the like layouts yet for it until I knew for sure. Because I mean, Voltex has the same thing where it's like it can be a 9, a 4, or a 12. I just wasn't sure which one I was gonna get. I was gonna grab whatever was in stock first, but this one was there and in stock, so I grabbed it. I'm working to make a Legends Arceus themed binder because I have the master set or the completed set of Astral Radiance, which is like the first set that came out for that game. But anyway, oh yeah, I also started working on my master set for Pitch Black, which, oh my god, as soon as I get a hand cam, that's something we're gonna do. That I'm gonna show off some of my collection. As soon as I figure out how to find a fucking hand cam. I should ask Kiki which one she uses, actually. That would be smart. I'm just so stupid. That would be smart. I'll have to see which camera she's using. But like, yeah, I want to do some hand cam streams where I show off the like, Pokemon sets that I've been collecting. Maybe make those members only, just in case I fuck something up. But yeah, no. And I'm sorry. Also, I just want to apologize. I haven't done a members only stream yet. I'm so sorry. I realize it's been like a month since I opened up memberships and I haven't done one yet. I am so sorry. Holy shit. She also says she wants to do one. Oh yeah. Nah, I get that. The only like hand cam stream I've seen of hers was the like keyboard one because I hadn't gotten a membership yet. But once we get this new job, hell yeah. You have a recommendation, but it's a little on the pricier side. Okay. Can you DM it to me anyway? And just I'll look at it and see. And if it's like, if it's something like I work up to it, or God, somebody, who was it? Somebody told me I should make a throne too. Like another VTuber friend was just like, why don't you have a throne? I was like, I don't know. I feel weird about it. But like maybe that is something, so people can just be like, oh yeah, here's to go towards this. Maybe I should do that. I would be smart. I think that was all. But yeah, Ta-da! But here, we're here with Higurashi. We're gonna read a chapter today. If it's shorter stream, it's a shorter stream. Go men. Go men to sorry. I'm planning though on doing, because tomorrow we start Ocarina of Time. So I'm planning on doing those to be a little bit longer. So I hope we'll get our fill of hanging out mostly on those 2 days. Also, there's an art stream later this week. If I'm not dead, we'll do that as well. Sure, yeah, she'll have both variants of it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just so I can, like, because if you say it's good, I'll at least have an idea of what good is. Know what I mean? Because, like, I really need a new webcam. Like, it kind of, like, this one's so old, it's fucking with the tracking a little bit. Just a little bit. But, you know, so it's like, I do have things I need to do to, like, upgrade the setup. And the hand cam will get put on the list as well. I just really want to show off that, like, I love Pokemon card collecting so fucking much. And it's just like, oh, it'd be so fun to show it off. Show you guys. I don't know. But yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright. Let me pull up the book. And we'll get right in there, yeah? Continue. I barely remember what happened last time. I think Rika kind of showed off that, like, the watchdogs are, like, following her in the white van to protect her. Whoa! Okay. They step it up. There's more art in this. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. It was a very humid day. What a way to come back to this. I just said I don't fucking remember what happened. How did we get here? Not even a slight breeze was blowing. It had been an unpleasant summer. One that wasn't only hot, but swelteringly so. Hold on, I just realized this is probably super quiet. Also, sorry if you can hear my air conditioner. I'm not turning it off. It's too fucking hot. There were various articles of clothing hung out to dry in the messy apartment windows, but the lack of wind evoked an impression far removed from the coolness. In fact, it only felt more oppressive. There were crooked houses and apartments lining the narrow, twisted road. In addition, there were planters and flower pots, whose contents were beginning to rot, as well as bicycles and cars on the sides of the road, making it even more cramped, more oppressive, and all the more sweltering. Didn't even notice it? Oh, okay, good shit. Yeah, sometimes I feel like you guys can hear it, like, in the VOD anyway. But then, like, during the actual stream, it's like you can't hear it, but sometimes in the VOD it picks up, so I don't know. Just whenever it feels like, I guess. Sometimes it's camera shy. Nobody who was in this place at this time was visiting it voluntarily. But in spite of what everyone might expect, a single motorcycle came rolling in. The motorcycle stopped in front of a 2-story apartment, one that could hardly be called neat, even as flattery. A man, fairly old and wrinkled, stepped off. When a nearby housewife hanging out the laundry noticed him, she called out, "Well, hello there! It's quite hot today again, isn't it?" "Whoa, you got that right. I feel like I'm gonna boil out here. Hee hee." Suddenly, I got goosebumps all over my body. I felt like something bad was about to happen for no reason. Everyone gets this feeling in a different way. Some people get a twitch in their eyelids, or some kind of movement in their ears. In my case, I get goosebumps. Satoko was supposed to be cooking dinner tonight. We didn't have much inside the refrigerator, so I asked her to go grocery shopping. I was just watching TV and relaxing while I waited for her. She was usually back by the time the cartoon was over, after which she'd start cooking dinner. But my cartoon was over. The news had started and Satoko wasn't home yet. Satoko sometimes waited until they had a sale at the store. In that case, she'd usually come home late. That must be what's happening. It was too early for me to start worrying about her. But... I can't explain this feeling. I can't explain it, but I feel extremely worried. Once I start feeling like that, I couldn't just sit in the room and wait for her. Hanyu? Hanyu? Where are you? I thought she might know where Satoko might be, but she's never around when I need her. Hanyu is not with me 24 hours a day. She sometimes falls asleep. Sometimes she goes out for walks. Though in her case it's not really a walk, but more like a stalk. She follows people around when she finds someone interesting. She enjoys observing them. Anyway, I had no choice. I'd have to find Satoko on my own. I had a good idea which stores Satoko goes to. I should check those first. We're in Hinamizawa. If I asked people, they'd tell me where she went. Oh, hello there, Rika-chama. It's a blessing to see you here.
Nappa, did Satoko come here today by chance?
Oh, I haven't seen Satoko here. I've been out here all day, so I would have seen her if she was here. I didn't even have time to say thanks. I ran to the next store. People were greeting me and waving at me. I'd usually smile and greet them back, but I had no time for that at the moment. Satoko, Satoko, Satoko! I need Satoko in my life. I was able to survive for so long because of her support. Without her, this world would be so empty and boring. Satoko is nonchalant, optimistic, unlike me. I've learned so many things from her over the past 100 years, but I still need to learn more from her. Satoko! Satoko! People stared at me as I ran by them, screaming out her name. I didn't care what they thought, though. Satoko! 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 Why are they looking at me like that? I'm looking for Satoko! Somebody tell me where she is! My heart was convulsing inside my body like a fish out of water. What little stamina I have. I hate my body for being so young. You know, the store on the corner always has the sale in the evening. She might be there. I went a few different places, but I couldn't find her anywhere. The people I talked to gave me advice on where to go, but I couldn't find her in any of the places they suggested. I continued to run, looking for her. I continued to run, even when I bumped into people. I don't know. I've had so many customers, I can't remember. There are only a few places in Hinamizawa where we can go grocery shopping. It shouldn't be that difficult to find her, so why couldn't I? Ah! I tripped over something on the street. I fell flat on the ground. Ouch. I injured my hand on a small rock embedded in the ground. It didn't feel much pain, even though I said ouch. It just felt hot, as if I had touched a frying pan. Suddenly, somebody handed me a pretty handkerchief.
Are you okay? Did you get hurt?
Reina, did you see Satoko anywhere? Reina was carrying a grocery bag. I've heard that Satoko bumps into Reina often when she goes grocery shopping. They tend to choose the same stores.
Satoko-chan? No, I didn't see her today. Was she out grocery shopping?
Yes. You didn't see her?
No, I didn't. But there's no way she would have missed the big sale at the market today. I was there, but I didn't see her.
My brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. It took me a while to understand what Reina was talking about. I understood that Reina didn't see Satoko. That wasn't the point. They had a huge sale at the market today? There's no way Satoko would miss the sale. But she didn't see her there? What was that supposed to mean?
What happened? Did she leave her wallet at home or something? Well,
I couldn't find the right words. Should I tell her I feared that something bad had happened, and that's why I was looking for her? No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't think too deeply about why she hadn't returned home.
What's wrong? Can't I help out? Talk to me.
I knew she was just trying to help. I even thought I needed someone to help me just a few moments before. But now that she's here, I had no idea what I was supposed to say. No, that's not it. The truth is, I know. Somehow, I know. I wouldn't have to know if it was somebody else. But I have to know this. Rika Furude to know what's going on. I know it. I remember it. I knew this was coming. I've experienced a world before where Satoko suddenly disappeared. But the possibility for that happening is as low as Akasaka showing up in Hinamizawa. It only happened randomly in my other lives. This isn't the first time. It happened before, too. I should see it for myself. I needed to see if I'd gotten stuck inside a devastating world again.
Will you talk to me?
I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Hey, Rika-chan!
I started running. I couldn't pretend like I didn't know where she was. Please, don't tell me I was blessed only to end up at this point, that I'm about to fall back into my own unfortunate fate from here on. No, can't. It's a really intense moment. Nobody's gooning. It's okay. I thought this world was different. I thought I could move on to a happy future. I thought I would be able to defeat my deadly fate in this life. But this was just horrible. It was horrible that this was happening to this world. I was standing in front of the place that I hate the most in Hinamizawa. Yes. It was Satoko's real home, the Hojo residence. I'd been living with her since last fall, so this house was empty. In the beginning, she used to come back here to pick up her clothing and other necessities. But once she moved most of her stuff to my house, Satoko stayed away from this place. This was a sad place for Satoko, because all she could remember of it was the horrible time she spent there with her aunt and uncle, the memory of her missing brother, Satoshi. And that's why she never wanted to come back. But that wasn't the reason I hate the house. It's because I know what happens whenever this house becomes an issue in my life. God, please, please bless me just one more fortune. I closed my eyes and prayed, and I slowly opened them. The window was open on the second floor. I saw a faded curtain swing inside. As soon as I saw that, my knees realized what was going on, even before my mind processed it. In the next moment, I lost strength in my legs, collapsed to the ground. I saw an unfamiliar motorcycle parked by the house. I also saw laundry in a futon hanging outside. I was certain that someone was living here. It was proof that someone was living inside this house. It's never good when there's someone living inside this house. This was very, very bad. I knew exactly why. I knew why, but I felt like I wanted to act like I didn't know.
Rika?
Satoko! Satoko went outside to take the futon in and noticed me.
Rika?
Satoko looked down and forced herself to smile. I felt so sad. It wasn't just her expression. I could tell that her left cheek was red and swollen. Satoko, don't stay here. Let's go home. I took her hand, but she still looked down without squeezing back.
Rika, I think I'm going to live back in this house.
Why is that?
My uncle came back, and he told me we should live together in the house.
I know that's not what you want. You don't have to live with your mean uncle.
But I have no choice. If I go back to your house, he'll come and get me. I don't want to cause any trouble for you.
She gave up with a sad smile. She looks exactly how she looked 1 year ago, in 1982. Her uncle only slapped her face, and she'd back to being Satoko from 1982. The cheerful Satoko that I knew until yesterday could no longer be found. I took care of Satoko and tried to heal her wounded heart for over a year. She finally got her smile back, but her uncle took it all away with just one slap to her face. A broken soul can recover over time, but her damaged heart can never be fixed completely. I just took the broken pieces and put them back together. The cracks in her heart will always be there. That's why she wouldn't come with me, no matter how hard I tried to pull her hand. She couldn't get over the fear. She knew just how scary her uncle could be. Satoko, what the hell are you doing? Oh shit. That was supposed to be your uncle. Satoko, what the hell are you doing? You better not go anywhere. I heard a disgusting voice from inside the house. Satoko stared at the ground. Her shoulders were shaking. Huh? What the hell is this? He came out and stood right behind her.
It's nothing. I just bumped into my friend.
I don't care. Go inside and clean the bathtub. I want to take a bath, you idiot. Satoko scampered back inside the house like a terrified small animal. I feel devastated as I watch her go.
Were you asking her out to play?
Well, I'm sorry, but she's busy taking care of chores. I'm her uncle. I've been out for a while on a business trip. I finally made it back to the village, you know. Liar. He only showed back up because his lover went missing. In another world, I once let my hatred out on him. But then he inflicted that anger in equal turn onto Satoko. So I couldn't allow the dark flame burning within my chest to reflect in my eyes. Since I couldn't make myself smile, and I couldn't insult him, all I could do was give him a short bow and want to run away from the scene. Intimidated by my scary face, huh? I heard his hideous laughter from behind me. I cried as I ran away. I couldn't stop crying. I thought this was a perfect world up until today. Why was God doing this to me? It was too cruel. I couldn't give up yet. I couldn't do anything, but I still had hope for this world. I didn't think the luck I had until yesterday was just a random thing. I went back to my house in a hurry. I needed to make a phone call. I didn't know the number because it was my first time calling the place. I looked inside the phone book and found it easily. I made a call to that number. Oh, hello? I didn't expect a call from you, Furude-san. What can I do for you? I already knew that Oshi could never save Satoko, based on what I've seen in my previous lives. For him, Satoko is only a good way to get at the Sonozaki family. Her uncle is probably his prey in regard to that too. Even if I talked to him about their situation, he would do nothing to save her. The only thing he'd tell me, he would be called the Child Consolation Center. I want to talk to Akasaka. Is he there? Oh, Akasaka-san? He went to Hot Springs in Wakura with his wife. Wakura? It's not anywhere near here. I thought he was staying in Watanagashi. I heard he's going to stay in a hotel owned by a relative of his. Ah, I wish I could go too. What? You want to know where Wakura is? Well, it's in the Ishikawa Prefecture on Noto Peninsula. No way. He told me he was staying in Watanagashi. I thought he meant he was staying in Hinamizawa. But did he actually mean this area of the country in general? Can you get a hold of him somehow? That was a meaningless question. There's no way I could get him to come here while he's enjoying the trip with his wife. Even if I can talk to him on the phone, he'll probably only tell me to call the Child Consolation Center or something. I don't know where he's staying. I heard it's a very famous luxury hotel, so I can make a pretty good guess. But I'm sure they won't give the room number since they're strict about customer privacy these days. Okay then. Did Akasaka tell you he's coming to the Watanagashi Festival? Oh, yeah, he did. He's coming back here after the hot springs. They stayed here only for one night and then left for the Noto Peninsula. I'm sure they'll be back before the day of the festival. He said he'd be back for a souvenir for you. How terrible. I thought it was too good to be true. I knew it was a kind of strange for him to stay in a boring place like this. My luck seemed to be turning. This might not be a surprise, though. Just like I can roll a 6 3 times in a row. I can roll a 1 3 times in a row, too. Happy things and unhappy things can happen with equal probability. Hello? If you want to leave a message, I could take it for you. I looked at the calendar on the wall. I didn't know when he was coming back, but I was certain he wouldn't be there for at least one more week. I thought back to the past and tried to remember what would happen. That guy will break Satoko apart in 1 week. I couldn't wait that long. I had to give up in seeking help from Akasaka. That's okay. I still had one more option. One more person I could rely on.
No, that's all right. Thank you for your help. Papa.
I hung up the phone after thanking him. I couldn't make a phone call to the next person. I'd have to talk to him in person. I put on my shoes and headed to the Erie Clinic. The clinic's hours were over for the day. There was usually no one here after that. However, since Tomotaki was here, they should still be inside the building for a meeting. They had to be there. The front door of the clinic was locked, as I expected. I went around to the back door and rang the bell. The whole clinic is nervous when Tomotaki is around. They usually ignore visitors, but I'm special. What's wrong? I heard they had an emergency. You need me too? That doesn't sound good. Irie and Takano showed up as soon as I was taken to the visitor's room. If Rika Furude has an emergency, then it's priority for these two people. I'm the most important person in the village. Could it be someone's trying to get you? You are protected at all times by the elite security of the Mountain Dogs. They've been watching you since the day we made that promise. I had no doubt about that. They saved me right away when we had that confrontation with those 3 delinquents the other day.
That's not it. I have a favor to ask. I want you to have Satoko save her from danger.
What happened to Satoko-chan? Irie doesn't have that much power alone, even if he really wants to save her. But Takano controls the Mountain Dogs, so she does have that power. In my previous lives, I was never able to get help from the Mountain Dogs because I wasn't on good terms with Takano. But this world is different. I have a better relationship with her in this life, and she even kept the promise she had made. I trust their ability completely now. Teppei Hojo is back? That's horrible. It was mainly Satoko's aunt who was abusing her last year, but Irie knows how her uncle was violent with her too. I told them that Satoko had gone back to the same condition she was in previously that year. I don't know what will happen. I need you to help me save Satoko. Irie seemed to want to do something for her, but he didn't exactly know what to do. What shall we do? Shall we call the police and let them know? I don't know about that. At this point, all he did was come back and take her to the under custody as legal guardian, right? It's not like she's been seriously injured by him. It's not the case, right?
No, that hasn't happened yet, but it's only a matter of time. Something bad is going to happen if we don't do anything.
I hate to say that it's only a matter of time. I know how she was going to get abused and how she's going to end up. I've seen it in the past. I really wanted to tell them about it, but I couldn't do that, as it hasn't happened in this world yet. They just think I was imagining it. I think you should call the Child Consolation Center first. I remember. Satoko-chan made a false report of the Child Consolation Center once. I wonder if they would take her seriously. The answer is no. My friends contacted the Child Consolation Center several times in the past, but Satoko always refuses their help. She claims that she isn't being abused. The Satoko from 1983 might have asked for their help, but currently she is the Satoko from 1982. For her, living with her uncle reminds her of the time when Satoshi was around. She feels like Satoshi will come back if she can live strongly, without always relying on her brother. Even if the Child Consolation Center were to take the case seriously, it's just too late. I tried to remember. In the most recent world I experienced, it only took a few days after Satoko was kidnapped by her uncle. It only took a few days for him to tear her heart apart. We had no time to waste. We needed to take action, quickly. We can't really do anything unless she seeks help. I think Dashiri can call the police, but that's about it. Very sorry. That's not it. I want you to help her, Takano. Yuri and Takano looked shocked, but they both went quiet. They didn't expect me to seek help from Takano. You mean, you want us to take a much bolder action?
I'm here to ask for that. I wouldn't be here this late otherwise.
I understand. But...
Irie, if you truly cherish Satoko, then please just listen to me this once. Please save Satoko. In less than a few days, she'll really end up in horrible shape. That's already guaranteed. If you try and wait and see how things go, it'll be no different than watching her die. Have you forgotten how Satoko was last year, Irie? She's already reverted to that state, right this very second. In a few days, it'll be too late to do anything. All I could do was stare at him, believing that Irie could see the future only I knew. The tragic end awaiting Satoko reflected in his eyes. Irie remained silent for a long time, to call it brief. Someone trying to think of some excuse to avoid the issue wouldn't go silent for that long. He really was recalling Satoko's terrible state last year, and seriously considering if my plea was as urgent as I made it out to be. I know that he really cares about her, and that's why I needed this help. What shall we do? Irie nodded and looked up. I guess he finally came to a conclusion. I just hope it's a positive one. Takano-san, please do what Rika-chan wants you to do. Irie, I remember how hopeless I felt when I couldn't do anything to save Satoko-chan last year. I want to take this chance and save her this time. But doctor, Takano didn't think that Irie would make that decision. She seemed shocked to hear his response. I would like to ask this of you as director of the clinic. Please help Satoko-chan. Dr. Irie, what do you mean when you say help her? Please, calm down. Satoko-chan is very important to us. She has greatly contributed to our research for a long time. Protecting her is considered one of your work orders. Irie continued, though Takano tried to persuade him. Kyosuke Irie is asking you as your boss. Please save Satoko-chan. I stared at Takano's eyes together with him. I thought you and Satoko were friends. Please help her, as her friend. Help her? That's a hypocritical way of saying it. You're not telling me to kidnap her and lock her up somewhere safe? You want me to help her so she can have a normal, happy life. In other words, you want her uncle dead, right? You have the right to make that ultimate decision of how you're going to save her. But if you don't want to, I don't mind making that decision. Dr. Irie. No. Section Chief. If we carry out your order, both you and I will be responsible for it. Are you sure you're ready for that? I looked at his face. Unlike me, Irie has many things to lose. I knew that Takano's words would shake him emotionally. However, Irie was determined. Yes, that's fine. Even if I'm called forward to defend my actions, that's better than betraying my own heart. An impressive show from someone who doesn't know what a hearing's like. Well, if you do it quietly, they may not find out about it in Tokyo. Everyone would be happy that way. All risk and no reward. Well, if you want, I'll show you more treasures in the shrine. I've never restricted you from seeing those things, so please help me. The risk she's taking is larger than the reward I'm offering. But that's about the only thing I could offer her. I don't care about the traditions of the Furude Shrine as long as I can save my friend from her suffering. Fine. I don't want to be the bad guy here. She forced a smile and accepted the favor I asked her for. Thank you, Takano-san. I want you to make the decision of how to save her. I will have a meeting with Okanogi later to plan the mission. No, not later. It has to be now. She promised to save Satoko, but she still wasn't motivated for it. It'd be too late if she didn't do something right now. I tried to make Takano understand that this is an urgent matter. That's right. Rika-chan and I want to have some kind of result now. I'm sorry for asking you this at this time, but could you please contact them now? You guys are so passionate about her. Okay. It might take a few minutes. Thank you very much. No problem. After all, it's an order from my boss. I'll do whatever I can. Just don't forget that promise you made to me, Rika-chan. I promise. I'll even serve you some rice cakes and tea when you come by the shrine. Takano smiled slightly and then left the room. Once we finally heard her footsteps fade away, the tension in the room dissolved. Eri offered me something to drink, but I refused. He must have thought everything was taken care of, but I couldn't relax until Satoko was physically returned to me. Eri? Does she have enough medication with her? Her uncle will keep her locked inside that house, so she won't be able to come here for a while. Fortunately, I gave her a stock of medicine and needles last week. She should be fine for a while. However, her mental state can't be controlled by that medication. If she gets too stressed, that can really cause some damage. That will happen within a few days. Takano hadn't come back yet. I thought it would be bad news if she came back too early, but I started feeling nervous after she had taken so long. Eri insisted that I go home because it was getting very late. I couldn't go home and relax, however, until I heard from her that everything was taken care of. I had to wait for her to come back. I needed to deal with this tension until then. Over an hour later, Takano finally returned. Sorry that took so long. How did it go? She was looking for the right words. I got a very bad feeling from her reaction alone. Unfortunately, it won't go as easy as we had hoped anymore. Why is that? There was a murder case in Okonomiya not too long ago. The police suspect Teppei Hojo of involvement in the crime, and they have him marked. A murder case? What do you mean? Some woman named Mamiya laid her hands on the Sonozaki family's earnings and was murdered to set an example. Apparently, the police have taken an interest in the relationship between the Hojos and Sonozakis. Turns out that woman was Teppei Hojo's lover. Watanagashi is getting closer, too. The police want to prevent a fifth curse of the Yoshiro-sama this year, so they've marked Teppei Hojo as a candidate for this year's victim, and started casting their lines. What do you mean by their lines? Well, they suspect to reel in the true culprit behind Oyashiro-sama's curse if they keep their eyes on Teppei Hojo. So, you mean... Rika-chan, I'm very sorry. But the mountain dogs can't do anything to him until the police stop spying on him. No. I thought the mountain dogs could perform any mission, no matter how difficult. That's only when we plan out carefully with extensive preparation. Usually we take a long time to observe the target. We look for the right opportunity. It can take between 6 months or a year for a mission like this. Remember, we are a secret organization. We must remain out of the spotlight. If our secret was revealed, everything is over. It's too risky for us to target someone like him. Then when is the right opportunity coming along? Well, it would be after Watanagashi at the earliest. After the festival, the police will stop watching him. That would be too late. She's saying it'd be after Watanagashi. I didn't even know if it was the day after or a year after. So, she also said it usually takes at least 6 months to prepare for this kind of mission. That's too long. I thought this world was different, but that hope was slipping through my fingers. How can we save Satoko-chan? I think it's best if we follow the rules. We should report this to the police and child consultation center. We can even talk to the school. I've done that so many times, it never worked. Eri and Takano were surprised. They had never expected me to raise my voice. In fact, I didn't think myself that I would react this way. But I couldn't keep my emotions in check after Takano suggested all those meaningless solutions. I've cooperated with you guys all this time. I've never asked for anything and I just give you my support. But now you can't save Satoko? With all that power you have, why are you so afraid of saving her? The police and the public services are useless. You guys only take advantage of us and never actually help. Fine. I get it now. I know now that this world is nothing but a dead end. I'm not interested in you guys anymore. I don't care about this world anymore. That's right. I can never escape my fate. It's the same old fate that I keep on repeating. You just burn to death in the mountains. You just take sleeping pills and commit suicide. I'll die, just like you always do too. I'll lose my life without knowing how I'm killed. This life is nothing but a dead end. I was to be born to be killed in this world. Die. Everyone die. There's no meaning to this world anymore. Screams. I'm not gonna actually scream though, sorry. I can't put words to my emotions anymore, and I started to cry. I was so lucky up until yesterday. I had so much hope in my heart, but it had all been for nothing. It felt like everything was falling apart. I've lived for more than 100 years. I've lived longer than a normal human lifetime. I thought I was blessed with good fortune for the first time in my life. This would never happen to me again. I thought a miracle had occurred, but everything was shattered. I cried and cursed the world. I needed to give up on my life as soon as possible. Satoko will be waiting for me with a smile in the next one. I wanted to go see her. But what would happen to the Satoko of this world? What would happen if I abandoned her? I didn't know. And I didn't care. Satoko. 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 I'm a witch who has lived for 100 years. But I still couldn't rid myself of the human emotions in my heart. I didn't get anything to eat because Satoko was supposed to be making dinner tonight. I didn't have an appetite anyway, so I figured I should just go to bed. I still had to make lunch for the next day, though. Satoko might come to school tomorrow. I rinsed the rice, hoping that I wouldn't have to waste that lunch that I was making for the two of us. I had to stop thinking like that. I already knew it was a waste to make her lunch. I already knew that Satoko wasn't coming to school ever again. I felt so miserable while rinsing that rice. The tears started dropping into it as I thought about her. Why was this happening in this world? I thought everything changed when Keiichi gave that doll to Mion. In that world, Mion pretended to be her sister for a week to get closer to Keiichi. But that wasn't happening this time. I thought we would be having a good time until the festival. That's odd. Wasn't that club activity 2 weeks before Watsunagashi? I had realized something. The club activity was exactly the same, but it happened 1 week earlier than in the world I knew it of. It was 1 week earlier than in my previous life. I get it now. I thought I was familiar with this world, but it was actually a different one, where events are mixed up. That means that even though Keiichi gave the doll to Mion, that didn't solve anything. I thought I was getting lucky. I was confident that everything was going to be okay. I stopped making an effort. I knew that there was a possibility that Satoko's uncle was coming back, but I let her go to do the grocery shopping. I would have been more careful and kept her at home if I knew that he was coming back to get her. I should be careful in my next life. There wouldn't be a next life that was so fortunate. I didn't get this lucky that often. Even if I locked Satoko inside the closet, it would be over if Reina's father messed up something, or if Keiichi lost his mind. I have to clear up everything that's not within my reach, and I also have to make a best effort I can. Without that, I can't overcome the fate of 1983. In this life, I may be able to overcome my deadly fate with Takano's help, but Satoko will not be there in my future. That defeats the whole purpose. My goal is to survive this year while laughing with my best friends. I don't want to sacrifice Satoko in order to survive. I don't want to live in a world without her. I was blessed with all the fortunes, but I still couldn't defeat my destiny. I ruined everything because I stopped working so hard. I will never again have that lucky of a life as this. I lost my first and only chance. I cried and scratched at the floor. I didn't know if I should curse my fate or curse myself for not putting forth enough effort. Before I realized it, Hanyu was standing in front of me. I didn't know how long she had been there. She just stared down at me with a look of pity on her face. Hanyu, I know what you're going to say. You want to tell me that you told me not to get my hopes up. There's no way I wouldn't get my hopes up. With it being the first time, I was so blessed. With so many fortunate circumstances. I believed that everything would go well. But you were always telling me not to expect too much. She probably had felt something strange in the toy store that day. She realized that the date was 1 week off, and this was not the same old world that I knew. She had realized early on that I still shouldn't be too excited about this life. I've been with you for a long time. So let me tell you this first before you ask me. I couldn't predict what fate held us for today. The only advice I can give you is this. Fate in this world is as fickle as the weather. Nothing more than a trifle unworthy of joy or sorrow. There are 6 sides to a die. That's the reality of it. And it doesn't mean that the 6 is the best number either. I should just take any number that I roll. I shouldn't be disappointed if I roll a 1 a few times in a row. It's pathetic how I thought rolling a 6 was the best results you could obtain. I still have so many things to learn, even though I've been living for more than 100 years. I've told you several times, but this world is not a miracle. If you wait patiently, you will come across a real miracle someday. How many decades am I supposed to wait patiently? How many centuries do I have to wait? We don't even have that much power left anymore. I don't think we can go back to a time before June of 1983. The amount of time we can rewind keeps decreasing. You're telling me to just repeat that short amount of time for years. I almost lost my mind when I was repeating a few years over and over again. But now you're telling me to repeat one or 2 weeks for years until a miracle happens? That's impossible. I was betting on this world. I bet all of my coins on this one world. And I lost. I lost all of my coins to this fate. I have no more coins left in my heart. These coins are known as hope. And I have no coins left to hope for my dreams to come true. Rika. I lay on the floor as if I collapsed. The floor should have been cold, but I didn't feel anything. I have lost all of my hope. I always thought people could survive as long as they had some bread and water. But that's not right. People can't live without hope. People can survive because they believe in something good will happen to them eventually, as long as they keep living. But that's just for normal people, who don't know what awaits them in their future. There is no such hope for a witch like me. I don't care about anything anymore. I don't care about this life, and I don't care about the next. I just want to disappear and turn to ash. Rika, please don't say that. Rika, Rika! Anyu's voice gradually fades away. I slowly lose my senses and I lay down on the kitchen floor and let myself sink into the darkness.
So yeah, that ain't the end, right? That's just the midway point. Yeah. You get a drink.
I dragged my body to school, hoping that Satoko might be there. But just as I expected, there was no one sitting in her seat. I felt all the more devastated just seeing it empty. I had nothing left to bet on. All I could do was get hurt and suffer devastation. Blood flowed from my broken heart, and it's found its way through my eyes to the front in the form of tears. Is something wrong, Furude-san? Is Hojo-san absent today? The whole class was wondering why I'd come home too late, and why Satoko wasn't with me. But even if I felt sympathy for everyone's eyes on me, I didn't feel any promise from them. No one here was able to save Satoko. No one. No one could save her. Why should I have to keep smiling at all these useless people? This world is finished anyway. If I leave matters alone, the next few days after the Minagoroshi festival, my movie reel will be cut as I'm murdered like usual, and I'll return to the beginning of this month. Again. So, I'll just continue to live forever in June of 1983. Trapped here. Even death won't set me free from this prison. Furude-san, please talk to me if something's happened. Where is Hojo-san? Is she sick? Shut up. The whole class gasped. No one expected Rika Furude to talk like that. I myself made such blunt statements a few times in several past worlds, but it was always the first time anyone in the world heard anything like that. That must have been very easy for them, and I envied it. Furude-san! Chie was standing there dumbfounded. I stood up from my seat. If Satoko wasn't around, I didn't want to be locked up inside this human place. I'm going home. I'm not coming here anymore. Goodbye. I felt like saying something like that. However, I retained that small hope that Satoko might go to school the next day, so I kept it to myself. However, Chie wouldn't let me go. She grabbed me by the arm and dragged me to the teacher's office instead. She had told me to take a seat on the couch by the principal's office. She had no right to tell me what to do. I could just escape through the open window. As I didn't have that kind of energy, however, I sat on the couch as she told me to. I realized that I didn't even have the energy to be rebellious. Maybe Satoko felt the same. She lost the energy to rebel, and so she simply was obeying her uncle. Furude-san, please tell me what's going on. I'm sure I can help you. Chie spoke to me, but I knew that her words were empty. All she would do is call the Child Consultation Center. She wouldn't go to the Hojo residence and pull Satoko out of there. Hi, Jose. Welcome in. So there was no point in even discussing this topic with her. If I told her, she wouldn't keep it to herself. And shortly, everyone would know that I was happening with Satoko. That would only result in chaos. If they called the Child Consultation Center, the staff from there would go and visit Satoko. Her uncle would deny the abuse. Satoko will also deny it because of the guilt she feels over Satoshi leaving. And shortly after, they find out about the false reports Satoko made, and they'll decide not to proceed any further. Her uncle will allow Satoko to go to school for a few days, but his abuse will get worse because he'll think that she's the one who called the Child Consultation Center. He'll do horrible things to her, just like her aunt did last year. Calling the Child Consultation Center will not help Satoko. It will instead put her in an even worse situation. It's better to not notify them at all. But if we don't report it, then how else is this world supposed to improve? No, nothing is going to change. There's nothing that can be done once this unfortunate fate overtakes Satoko. You say Hojo-san's uncle is back. Is that true? I had somehow answered all of Chie's questions without noticing. I knew that nothing would change whether I spoke to her or not, so I just told her everything, because I had no energy to rebel. I understand what's going on now. This is horrible. So, now that you know what's going on, what can you do? She answered right away, without faltering, already used to that spiteful tone. I will visit her house today. I need to see Satoko-chan and talk to her first. Then, if there's a problem, you're going to call a child consultation center, right? They have it on record showing that she made false reports in the past. They'll never do anything unless there's proof of abuse. They're just like the police. We don't start investigations until after someone's dead. They won't do anything unless Satoko was killed. And when that happens, this is what both the school and the child consultation center will say. We never saw this coming. She was such a bright girl. You people are idiots. I believe that the people from the center will do something about it. I will make sure to tell them that she needs help. You've done the same in my previous lives, too. I wasn't denying her passion, but I couldn't say that there was a meaning to it. The problem wasn't Chie. No, the problem was with them. No matter how hard Chie tried to seek help from child services, it meant nothing as long as they held biased notions towards Satoko. Doesn't matter if they find proof of abuse or not. Suddenly heard a voice from the hallway. It was Shion's. Chie shouted, "Who's there?" And then I heard Mion gasp, "Crap!" They must have been listening to our conversation. They were having a quiet discussion outside the door, but Shion suddenly raised her voice. She gets so violent sometimes. 4 people entered the room in the hallway. Mion, Shion, Keiichi, and Reina. I told you to stay in class. Go back to the classroom. We can't, not in this situation. What are you going to do if something happens to Satoko? Do you want to be responsible for that? There's no time to waste. We have to do something right now. My sis is saying that things will get worse unless there's some kind of proof of abuse, but by then, it's too late once there is. Do you want to see Satoko dead, Mio? That's not what I'm trying to say. Like I told you, Satoko once made a false report to the abuse hotline, and now they have it on record with the Child Consultation Center. Without proof, they won't investigate her case further. Just think about what that means. It'll only make her uncle more furious. Satoko's situation will get worse. Hi, Matter. Welcome in. Timeline trying to fix itself, damn. Yeah, no, it's a little fucked. So, to catch a couple people up, Rika had the realization that the doll thing happened a week earlier than it should, so the actual hurdle this timeline is Satoko's uncle coming back to town again. And so Rika kind of lost all hope because she feels this is like the one timeline where she isn't able to fix it. Like, she has no chance of fixing it, so she kind of gave up already, but everyone else is like, now like, hey, let's do this. But of course Rika thinks it's not gonna work. I'm gonna get a drink of water, actually. Alright. What the hell? They're supposed to help her before something happens, right? Are they really not going to do anything unless she's seriously injured? Calm down, you two. I feel the same as Shi-chan and Keiichi-kun. I don't want to wait until something bad happens, but we need to think about what we can do. And this time both twins are available instead of Young. Yeah. What can we do? Talk to the Child Consultation Center, right? If we had the guarantee they'd help her, it'd be fine, but Mion, you're saying it's really highly likely that they'll put the case on hold, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what they think they'll do, just like last year. On top of that, she was in an even worse situation then. They put her case on hold even though Satoko was already in a horrible shape. But this time, it's only been a day since her uncle took her away. Plus, her uncle has legal custody of her. We don't need to be so roundabout. All we have to do is ambush that bastard and kill him. Shi-chan, you can't do that. Satoshi wouldn't want it. Then how should we save Satoko? Satoshi couldn't entrusted me. He trusted me to look after Satoko. If something happens to Satoko, I could never face him again. Having our hands tied until after Satoko's been thoroughly abused is not an option. When a crime is taking place right before your eyes, it's reporting it the first thing you should do? No, it isn't. You should stop it. We have to stop this ourselves. Calm down, Shio. You're the head of the Sonoseki family, aren't you? Use your power. Save Satoko. You can do it, can't you? You have enough power to save her. I know. The Heg's policy is to stay completely out of the Hojo affairs because of her grudge over the dam conflict, right? Well, no matter what happens to Satoko, the Sonoseki main branch intends to ignore it, don't they? If neither the Child Consultation Center nor the Sonoseki family is going to save her, I have to do it on my own. I'm going to do it. I will kill that pig. I'm going to do it right now. It's not going to take more than 1,500 seconds for me to get to that house and stab him to death. What can you do in 1,500 seconds? You can't do anything, can you? Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to help her. Let me go! I'm going to kill him right now! Shun-chan, settle down. Stop saying that. You're going to get in big trouble. They were desperately discussing how to save her. I just sat on the couch and stared at them vaguely. I had seen the same discussion many times in many different situations. I was tired of listening to it. The only difference was everything was happening a few days earlier than usual. Shion sounds like a badass. Yeah. Rika. It's okay. I'm not going to expect anything good anymore. I don't have any hope left in my heart. Hanyu made a sad expression. I couldn't tell if she was sad about her fate or if she was taking pity on me. Just as she promised, Chie went to Satoko's house after school. It had only been a day since Satoko's uncle took her away. She wouldn't be able to tell if he'd hurt her already or not. If the students hadn't made such a big fuss about it, Chie would have waited a couple days before going to the house. She already knew, however, what would happen to Satoko the previous year. She also knew that her uncle was abusing her just like her aunt, and that he had neglected to act as her guardian for a whole year. Considering those factors, it might not have been too soon for her to visit the Hojo house. Satoko hadn't shown up to school that day. No one called the school to explain her absence. That alone was proof that her uncle wasn't taking responsibility as her guardian. Chie was going to her house to see what was going on with her own eyes. She parked the car on the street and checked the map she had brought from school. It said Hojo residence on the sign in front of the house. Chie was certain that this had to be the place. The window on the second floor was open and she could see the curtain hanging there. From that window she could also hear laughing and voices of several old men. No one had answered the phone she had called right before leaving school. She could also hear a clicking noise of mahjong tiles along with the voices. She had never played mahjong before, but she had a pretty good idea that it was the way the men were talking. They were playing mahjong. There must have been 3 other men inside the house. Her students had told her that Satoko's uncle was a very violent man. Chie was a teacher, true, but she was also just a young lady. She felt hesitant to ring the doorbell after hearing their disgusting laughter. But courage drove her forward. She made her decision and rang the bell. She heard the bell ring from inside the house, but the laughing voices continued to echo from the second floor. It seemed as though they didn't hear the bell. She rang it again. This time laughter stopped for a moment. Someone must have heard the sound, but soon after they started laughing again. It didn't sound like anyone was coming to get the door. She thought someone heard the bell, but perhaps not. She was sure they were home, though, of course. She couldn't just leave because no one was answering the door. She knocked and yelled loudly this time. "Hello? Are you home, Hojo-san?" Finally, the laughter stopped, and a man with a scary look on his face opened the door. "Who the fuck are you?" "Shut up! Get the hell out of here!" Chie felt intimidated by him, but her heart was filled with a teacher's pride of responsibility. "Hello. Are you Hojo-san?" "I am." Of course she could introduce herself. Teppei screamed at her. "Just shut up! I don't need no newspaper, no milk, no insurance. I'm busy right now. I'm working." People in the room laughed when he told her he was working. Chie wouldn't give up. She continued to speak. "I am the teacher at Hinamizawa Branch School. My name is Chie. I am Satoko Hojo here." "Huh? The hell? What do you want with Satoko?" "I came here because she didn't come to school today. I wasn't able to get a hold of her, so I'm wondering what happened." "Huh? School?" "Yes, is she home? I need to talk to her." "She's sick. Yeah, that's right. She has a cold. Toko is resting. She has a fever. I need to give her some handouts. May I please see her?" Fucking idiot. Weren't you listening to what I just said? Satoko is sick. She's sleeping right now. I can't let you see her. I see. Do you think she can come to school tomorrow? Who knows? I wouldn't know until then. Idiot. I see. All right. Please tell her that I came by. Thank you. Chie bowed, but by the time she lifted her head, Teppei was no longer there. When Chie returned to the school, several students emerged from the classroom. They were Keiichi, Reina, Mion, and Sho. Rika was also still inside the classroom, but she wouldn't come outside. Chie-sensei, how did it go? You went to Satoko's house, right? You were all waiting for me? Chie-sensei, how was Satoko doing? Was she okay? Well, I didn't get to see her. What the hell were you doing? You're a teacher, right? You can come back just because he didn't let you see her? Stop it, Shion. It's about what we expected. I'm sure Satoko has a bruise on her face by now. That's why he didn't want you to see her. You should have just ran into that house. I can't even trust you anymore. I'm sorry. Stop it, Chi-chan. She did the best she could. Now we know for sure. Satoko's uncle definitely has her locked up in that house. We knew that from the start. Rika-chan has been telling you that all day today. We wasted half a day just to find out that it's true? How the hell do you think you can help Satoko? Calm down. Let's make a plan. We care about her just as much as you do. We're not going to abandon her. Let's just come up with a way to save Satoko. I already gave you my opinion, didn't I? It's the best solution we have. I can handle it all by myself. I only need your help to hide the body. Stop it, Chi-chan. Stop saying such violent things. Murder is a serious crime. It's the worst thing you can even think about. Then give me a different idea. If my idea is wrong, then give me a different one, even if it's only a little bit better. Come on. Come on! See? You can't even say anything. I can save Satoko in 1,500 seconds. I'll just drag his body to the Onigifuchi swamp, dump him there. I don't even need your help, sis. What's wrong? Why don't you come up with another idea for saving her? That's not the point. If you try to figure it out by yourself, then that's all you'll think of. Let me help you with something. 1,500 seconds. That's taking way too long. I would save her in 1,000 seconds. If I were you, I would just leave here silently and do what I do. Do you know why I'm not doing that? It's because someone told me once that even if it's the only option you have, murder is still something that you should never do. It's not the right thing to do, and it's never the best thing to do either. You just think it's the best solution because you're not thinking properly.
Listen. A long time ago, I don't know who told me this. Someone taught it to me. If there's something that troubles you, you can't think about it on your own. You can't think about your own solution is the best way to conclude things.
We should all think about it together. If we all brainstorm, I'm sure we'll come up with a better solution.
It's not about whether my idea is wrong or right. Just think about it. Every minute we waste puts Satoko in more danger. Do you hate the Hojo family that much? No one is supposed to help Satoshi-kun or Satoko, no matter how much they struggle. I'm gonna help her. Get out of my way. I'm leaving right now. And I'm going to stab that loser and save Satoko.
No, Shi-chan! Shi-chan!
You guys should curse yourselves. Curse your powerlessness. Fine, brainstorm for another good idea. You'll never come up with one. Just go ahead. Neglect her. You never really cared about Satoko. You only think of her as someone you can play with. But I'm different. She's more than just a friend for me. She's like my family. I care about her more than you guys do. And I'm going to kill him now. Goodbye. Wait a minute. What is it? Are you trying to stop me? Shion, you're not understanding even half of what Reina is telling you.
What?
No, I totally understand what she's saying. We can save her right away with just a little courage needed to murdering. But she's spouting hypocritical garbage to hide that fact. Shion, do you think Satoko would appreciate it if you saved her by committing murder? I'm not trying to seek her appreciation. I don't care what happens to me. Her happiness is all that matters. That's not right. You're talking tough, but I know you're scared. In fact, you asked Mion to help you hide the body. In other words, you want to have a normal life after killing her uncle. You want us all to be happy, just like a few days ago. You want us to go back to where we were. But if you murdered him, we'll never be like that again. Do you think you can really commit a perfect crime? You'll be arrested for sure. I'm prepared to face that. If I could end Satoko's suffering by doing time behind bars, I'd gladly pay the price. No, that's absolutely not true. You would curse yourself, and I'd bet on that. You would curse yourself and regret it, wondering how you drew the short straw and became a murderer. Then you'd finally realize what you really wanted. It wasn't killing her uncle. It was returning us all to our happy lives. Your wish will never come true if you commit murder. Satoko will curse herself. She'll blame herself, thinking she's the reason Shion became a murderer. In fact, he was going to force Satoko to eat her squash if you get locked up. Who's going to talk about setting up mean traps with Satoko? You're supposed to do those things. Shion Sonozaki. You have to be by her side at all times. Don't kid yourself. What you're trying to do is not for Satoko, and it's just a huge mistake. Well, if that's what you're saying, do you have any idea how to save her? You don't, do you? You're such a hypocrite. Now, I said move. I'm killing him. I'm going to kill him now. Keiichi blocked her from standing in front of the door. Shion gave him a hateful glare, but she just sent her back a confident smile. Can't let you go, Shion. The world we all long for doesn't exist without you.
and I'm not going to let you go.
Is that so? That means you're siding with Teppei Hojo. You're just as guilty as he is. I'm gonna bust open your head and kill you first. Hey! Don't be stupid, Shion. Quit it already. Shion-san, what are you going to do with that chair? Stop it! Put the chair down. He doesn't understand that I'm serious. I'm gonna have to show him just how determined I am. You better get the hell out of my way now. Shion, I admit that right now I have no better idea, but that's just for the moment. I'm sure that we will come up with a better idea eventually. I guarantee it. I promise you that we're going to save Satoko. So please, okay? Trust your friends. If you're afraid of committing murder for Soko's sake, you're not my friend anymore. I'm not going to tell you this again. Now get the hell out of my way. Calm down and think about what you're saying. We will save Satoko somehow. Just trust us. Don't try and look for a shortcut. Trust your friends. Trust me. I, Keiichi Maibara, am going to save Satoko for sure. You can bet on it. Shut up. I can't trust you. What do you think you can do for her? Shion! Shion threw the chair at Keiichi. It hit him hard, and the chair fell to the floor with a loud noise. But Keiichi was unfazed even after being struck. He stood there in front of the exit without even covering his face. Wait, he wasn't unfazed. A trail of blood was pouring from his forehead, where the corner of the chair had hurt him. That was nothing. You thought I would move out of the way? I'm not going to move from here, even if you kill me. If I let you go, we might never see you again. Satoko will think about you every day, and her heart will be filled with sadness. If that happens, there won't be anything we can do to make her happy. It's going to be a very sad life for her. I don't want Satoko to live in a sad world like that. The future that we want is wild and a righteous one, just like what we had until a few days ago. Of course, I won't let Satoko's uncle threaten her any longer. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet, but I will know soon. I promise. So please, just trust me. Shion wasn't yet convinced, but even so, she walked to the window and took her seat. Somebody rested a hand on Keiichi's shoulder. It was the principal. He had been standing there and listening to him for a while. Principal. Well done. Chie-sensei, I've heard what's going on. I'm sorry for being so powerless. I know it's only been a day, but I think this is an emergency. We should report it to the proper authorities. But sir, she's called the Child's Consultation Center before. They're not gonna help her anyway. It's just a waste of time. Shion raised her voice. The principal looked at Shion and started talking. Shion Sonozaki-kun. There's one word that I really don't like. Do you know what it is? It's what you just said. The anyway. That came out of your mouth. That is the cruelest word, which means admitting defeat before you even fight. By the time you've uttered that word, you've already lost your battle. I agree with him. I think we should try various options. Calling the Child Consultation Center should be the first on the list. If it doesn't work, we can try the second and then the third option. Don't give up before you try. That's just as bad as not helping her at all. Principal, if you're reporting this, then you'll make sure to convince them that Satoko needs saving, right? Of course. Hojo-kun is my precious student. I'll do my best that they save her. They will try to take action as quickly as possible, so if we call now, they should get to her house later tonight. I hope they'll help her. But what if they put her case on hold? If that happens, we should come up with our next plan. As long as we don't give up,
We can help her somehow.
Whatever you guys say. Satoko's getting hurt as we speak. Who's the one abandoning her here? Shion, I just promised you. We are going to save Satoko. Not by committing murder, but by saving her in a way that'll make her happy. You just watch us. I, Keiichi Maebara, am promising you this. Shion stared out the window looking at the Keiichi's face. I'll try and find out what the consultation center decides tonight. I'll call everyone when I do. I hope they take her into custody.
We can't be too optimistic about it. I think there's a huge chance that they'll just put her case on hold. What are we going to do if that happens?
If that happens, well... damn it. Jay-sensei, let's go to the teacher's office. We need to make this call.
Yes, we need to make sure they really understand.
They left the classroom. Keiichi, Reina, and Mion got together and discussed their other options. Shion was looking down and crying. And Rika was. Just vaguely looking at them, as if staring at a boring drama on TV. Nothing will change. The Child Consultation Center will put her case on hold. I've seen it many times in my previous lives. I almost hope that they will take her into custody. Just this once. But I have no more coins left to gamble on hope like that. In a previous life, Keiichi killed Satoko's uncle. But Shion was not there when it happened. When she is, I suppose she's the one who takes on that role. Their pathetic hopes will be crushed by tomorrow morning. The social worker will be at her house tonight, but Satoko will deny that she's being abused. Her uncle will assume that she was the one who called the service, and he'll abuse her even more. She'll come to school tomorrow because he doesn't want the Child Consultation Center to be suspicious of them. We will feel more and more hopeless when she sees the dead look in Sotoko's eyes. I've been living for more than 100 years, but I've never defeated this fate. The fate of her uncle's return. I was blessed with so much luck, and I thought I could defeat it this time. But in the end, it all came down to the same thing. It was a waste of energy to put in effort. It was worthless. All worthless. The more I thought about this inescapable fate, the more I pitied these people for talking endlessly about how they were going to save Satoko. Wow! We did it! Living without hope. I shouldn't have even bothered. Oh my god. Let me say it before I fuck it up. Woo! Chapter 5 done! Ah! Yeah. The irony in some of this after reading the other books. That's true. Amazing chapter. Yeah, good chapter! Good chapter! Yeah. So how we feel about Rika just accepting defeat and not trying anymore. How do you think that... It seems that Rika... I don't know. The way I interpreted some of those words, like the way Rika was talking, I don't think she's ever seen a world where Shion was here and Satoko's uncle were there. So this might still be like a one-off world. We just don't know. Voice acting was phenomenal. Ah, thank you! I'm trying, man. Man, I don't know what it is, but sometimes these roles, it's like, it's hurting my throat. Like, my throat hurts now. I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't do proper warm-ups today, right? I know before when we would read these, it's like I would have been at work all day talking to people, but it's like, now it's just Cam here and I don't, you know. I don't yap his ear off all day like I would have at work. So maybe I'm not warmed up, but like, oh. You like how Shion and Keishu came to the same solution? Jose, I do drink water. When you're like stressing your vocal cords to do different voices, it does change it a bit. Hydrate? Yeah, I was hydrating throughout that whole read, don't worry. Yeah. No, it's literally just the fact that I'm trying to do 6 different voices. That's what hurts. But yeah, no, I was drinking water. What was I gonna say? I completely lost track of what I was saying. But anyway, this could still be a one-off world. So, who knows? Maybe. Maybe. Wasn't paying attention? Okay. Okay. You think water? I thought you drank gasoline or something. I know, right? Like this timeline? Yes, it's a very cool one. And, like, my knowledge of, like, the lore and all the stories and all the timelines, I am 99% sure that this instance of events only happens twice. Ever. In, like, Rika's, like, century and however many years, like, her hundreds of years, as she says, being here. I think this sequence of events only happens twice. And I won't tell you how the other one ends. Because, like, once we got to, like in the beginning of this chapter where it started doing the whole, the arc where Satoko's uncle is back, like, once I saw that thing repeating, I was like, oh no, wait. And I started to remember what actually happens in this arc, so I do... I do remember how this arc ends now. It did refresh me enough. Now I kind of remember. I remember now how they deal with it this time. After you deal with Satoko, are we gonna deal with Reina then now? I don't think so, actually. I think this is like the climax is going to be how should I say? The climax this time is how they figure out how to help Satoko. Like, in the third book, where we first see her uncle, like, the climax was Keiichi killing the uncle, right? In this one, they come up with another idea. And that's the big climax, if I'm remembering it right. If I'm remembering right. Who knows? That could just be, like, setting up, and then they do that, and then the climax is Watsunagashi again, because of the Rika thing. I'm not, like, I know how it happens in the anime. And so, like, this is, like, the big season finale, and then the next season is all about Rika. So I'm not sure exactly which way the book's gonna go. But I'm 99% sure we are not gonna deal with a Reina arc after this one as well. I'm, like, really, really sure. And if we do, oops, oopsie whoopsie, not my fault, I didn't read the book. Okay, okay. It's funny because Shion referenced Badass Keiichi by saying how long. Right, yeah, no, the 1500 seconds thing is really, really good. But it's... I mean, it's a cool reference, yeah, but I think it's also to remind us that this is, like, the one timeline where, like, they all have memories of the bad timelines. So it's like, oh yeah, shit, no. That's why Keiichi is very much going, you can't fucking murder him, trust me, it's not a good idea. Not Reina saying she can do it faster. Nah, for real though. Like, Keiichi did it, and he did it fine. But, like, yeah, no, I think Reina was the better murderer. Like, she took way more care in making sure that the body was never found. All of them remember? Yeah, all of them remember something that's happened in a past timeline. All of them. That was the first big thing for Rika, right? Like, okay, the first thing was, like, the doll. She was like, oh, that's interesting. But then it was, like, the next day when they were getting ready for the auction, like, the auction stuff, that's when somebody, like, Reina confessed, she's like, you gotta talk to somebody if you're having issues. Like, I remember, I had a really weird dream where I killed 2 people because I didn't talk to you guys. And Shion was like, yeah, I remember doing that too. Like, I forgot to, like, talk it out with my friends, and I ended up hurting Satoko. And Mio was like, yeah, no, I remember that. And Keiichi's like, yeah, no, and I remember being on top of the school building and fighting and whatever. Like, they all remember at least one of the old timelines. And that's why they're all being, like, so... They're being so, like, trust your friends energy. That's interesting. Yeah. That's like this arc's big thing, is that they all remember bad endings. They may not all remember the same bad ending, but they all remember a bad ending. I think Satoko remembered her uncle coming back before. Like, she remembers that. That was the timeline she remembered. So it's happening again. Yeah, no, this one is very cool. I mean, considering there's like a whole nother book after this. I mean, there's like 3 books after this, but one of them I think is just like what if scenarios. Like they're not required. They're just fun to have also like additional reading. Like stuff that's like, oh yeah, this timeline happened too, just so you know. Like, but I know there's like one more main book after this, so I'm anxious to see how they're doing this. Like, is it just gonna be like, this book is now about solving Satoko, and we go into the final book with Rika being full of hope, or whatever? There's what ifs? Yeah, there's a what if, yeah. Like, I forget what the next chapter is called. It's called whatever, and then it's Higurashi Ray, and Higurashi Ray Plus. Ray Plus is like just a bunch of like what if stories, yeah. Like, okay, no, nothing like that. It's more like, I mean, I guess I don't know specifically, but I feel like they're more along the lines of, like, what if, you know, in the very first book, what if Reina was the one who went crazy instead of Keiichi, and she went there and killed him? Like, instead of Keiichi losing his mind in the first book, picture it Reina losing her mind. And she goes to Keiichi's house and murders him. Instead of her going to his house to try and help him, and he murders her. You know what I mean? It's like stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. I'm not, like I said, I haven't really read into them just because I don't want spoilers. All I've done is, like, I've gone on, like, Google or Reddit and been like, what order do I read these in? These don't have book numbers on them. And that's how I learned that, like, that one's just, like, what if scenarios. But yeah, so that one will be fun to read too. But anyway, guys, like I said, today's gonna be, like, it's a bit short. It's only like an hour and a half. We got more Darker Timelines. Great, yeah, probably. Tomorrow we'll be streaming Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda. It's my first ever real Zelda game, I guess. I played the whatever... I forgot what it's called again. Not the Minish Cap, the other one. But it'll be my first ever real big boy Zelda game. I'm excited. It'll probably be a longer one. The same with Four Swords, thank you. I always forget. We're playing Ocarina of Time. It'll be a longer one. I'm excited. You guys can backseat, I'm sure. Breathe in the wilderness or something. Yeah. Oh, fuck, man. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out for book club and Higurashi. If I don't see you in the next one, I will see you when I see you. Everyone have a good night, a good evening, and Veil Guards. You're dismissed. Bye-bye.